Been diagnosed with scoliosis for a year. That back problem, saw no signs of lack of flexibility in that floor exercise to Sunday. Now, Dana Lister in first place after 2 rotations on the vault.
And this is her weakest event, so if she's going to do well here, she's got to get by this one. Nice work on a laid-out Sukahara from a round-off approach. Really good vault.
So Dana Lister should stay in first place after 3 rotations as gymnastics continues here at the U.S. Olympic Festival.
Signing off his piece with a mouthful of water. It's hard for the water polo players to argue with the referee with a mouthful of water. So I guess it's safe to say that water polo coaches are a little bit catatonic, unlike, say, a John Thompson or a Lefty Drizel when they stalk the sidelines and kind of bait and intimidate the college basketball officials. Most of the calls in water polo, by the way, are minor violations and all involve body contact. Most of the action, of course, is under the water, and all the poor victim gets is a free pass.
Well, the interesting thing about water polo is that most of the rules that exist try to promote aggressive play. I mean, people do push off, and that's, you know, part of the strategy of playing water polo. The thing is, as one of the people in the piece said, you try to get away with as much as you can, which is sort of how it is in the National Hockey League and how it is in the NBA as well. It's very typical.
The gold medal game, of course, for women, that comes up tomorrow. It's the East, unbeaten at 4-0. They'll play the West. Their record is 3-1. That's for the gold. Maureen Mendoza from Long Beach, California. She had 5 goals on Thursday night and leading the East to their victory that gets them into that gold medal game. So more water polo to come. Garble,
Right.
garble.
Okay, and coming up, not underwater, gymnastics and more track and field. So we'll take a break, be back with more of our coverage from the 1987 U.S. Olympic Festival right after this.
A champ of the women's all-around after Dana Lister hit a 9.20 on the vault, one that she perhaps might have felt could have scored better. Robin Richter hit for a 9.75 on the beam and took over first place. Juliet Bangerter hanging in there, just 13 years of age, along with Sun Janap. She's 14 and making a comeback from an injury to her back. Now, look at this, 65/100ths of a point separating the top 7, and Cindy Tom is an 8. Juliet Bangerter now ready for her first vault. This is a key moment for this youngster from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Okay, I believe she's doing one of the round-off approach vaults. Nope, she changed her mind. She's going to do a pike Sukahara. Now that vault isn't one of the highest difficulty rated vaults, so it's going to be hard to score really well there. But she did have decent post flight and a pretty good height.
The thing that you have to keep in mind is Robin Richter will be on the floor. That's one of her stronger disciplines.
There's the push off the horse. She's in good position in the pike Sukahara, 1 step on the landing. Not an unbelievably high vault, but a clean vault. It'll score decent.
Now, the best score is the one that counts. This is her second vault coming up. And Bart, this is really the first time she's been in this position. She's right now in second, has a chance to win. She knows that Richter has the lead, and she's moving on to one of her favorite exercises.
And she's going to try, I believe she's going to try the round-off approach vault now. This is a new vault for her, so she's got to put it together if she wants to stay in the running here. And I know this is a little bit scary for this young girl because there is a big crowd. There's a lot of commotion. It's important that she sticks with it.
Gotta believe that any one of 4 still have an opportunity to win this all-around. But Richter's in a great spot, and Juliet must know that.
Okay, here we go. There it is, round-off approach. And, of course, short. That's going to hurt your ankles a little bit, as well as your score and your pride. But she did give it a whirl. It's a new vault for her.
And she's shaking it off, too.
She has good speed here. Here's the round off onto the board. Good position. She doesn't get her hands on the horse soon enough with enough time to block. And of course, when you're that short a rotation, she knows she messed up there.
Tanya Service now in 5th after 3 rotations on the uneven bars.
And she missed right off the bat. That mount, she was supposed to go into a release move. Now she's going to have to continue the exercise and try and pick up where she left off. Here's the giant swings. Okay, there's a move called a Delchev, invented by a famous Bulgarian male gymnast, Stoyan Delchev. Okay, she does the requirement for working on the low bar. Back up to the giant swings. Oh, short on that giant swing. She's not going to make it over. Now she is really having trouble in this exercise. She's going to do a pullover, get back up to the high bar. She's got to make this dismount. Toe on, front off, and short. Boy, when it rains, it pours.
Trying to make a comeback from a compound fracture of her right ankle. Had 6 pins installed. Tanya Service having difficulty. Women's gymnastics continue a bit later here on the Olympic Festival.
Backhand pike double back. Really nice. Front step out, through to a full. Not really the most difficult pass, but of course, no real deduction. She's showing nice combination tumbling. She did front step out into her first tumbling run, front step out into the second one. Really nice pirouettes. Of course, there was the change of the pace in the music, and now she's back to picking up the exercise, ready for a big finish. She is really very aggressive in this competition. She seems so confident. Here she goes. She's burning across there. Tuck double back, over-rotated, one step. But she's going to be tough to beat. Really a great day for Robin Richter.
10th grader at Highest, the 10th high school. She collects bears. She's going to get a bear hug now from her teammates. She's on her way perhaps to the gold in the all-around competition, but we still have some outstanding competitors that could be in her way. We've had a very balanced field here, Bart. We knew it coming in, but I don't think we anticipated 65 100ths of a point to separate the top 7 here.
Robin is one of those gymnasts that we mentioned at the top. When she is on, she can be really spectacular. Here's her first tumbling run. There's a front step out. Nice rotation. Sets her up into the roundhouse back handspring. This is a tough pass. There's up, pike, double back, 2 times around, and really handles the landing. She knows she has it. Okay, here's the ending of her exercise. She finishes the double back. She finishes in a nice pose, and she knows she's got it.
Now onto the floor is Joyce Wilborn, who had a great start and ran into problems on the uneven bars.
Wait till you see this routine. This is so wild. She has a terrific style, outstanding music, and outrageous tumbling. Front step out, round a flip-flop, full in. I talked about the level of difficulty. You've got to do the big tricks, and Joyce does them. You got to love this exercise. All right.
She's in her element now, and the crowd loves it.
Okay, now here's her second tumbling run. Usually she just does a double twist here. I don't know why she does that. I think she can actually do more difficult. You look like it was so easy for her. She needs to do a bigger tumbling run there. But as you see, she gets back into the dance.
Little moonwalk.
Go for it, Joyce. She really does have an ability, because of that music and because of her dance style, to get the crowd into her performance. And let me tell you, when you get in this part of the routine, she gets ready for her last tumbling run. Usually she does a full twisting double here. She needs the support of that crowd. There we go. Oh, just a tuck double back, but so high, over-rotated. Really nice exercise.
Look out for her come Sunday. There are several individual gold medals that could be on the way for Joyce Wilborn from Patterson, New Jersey. I'd say she's the crowd favorite right now, and she's in 9th place in the all-around. Even the guys like it, and why not?
Because most of these guys can't do a routine.
They'll be practicing their moonwalks in the Olympic Village here in Carolina a little bit later tonight.
Okay, on the last tumbling run, she does a tuck double back. Usually she does, and probably in the finals we'll see a full twisting double back. Look at how high she is. Most people can't tumble that high at the beginning, and she blows them away at the end.
The crowd reacting to a 9.9 for Joyce Wilborn in the floor exercise. Now, Sunja Nat tied for 2nd place going into the last rotation.
Okay, there's a laid-out Tsukahara and a really nice stick on the landing. That's going to score well.
The gold medal will be given out shortly in the women's gymnastics all-around. We'll have it for you when we return to the...
Pamela Goodrich and Ann Guptill. And by the way, they are on the East team, and the East team went on to win the team dressage title. The individual competition is taking place this very evening, and the importance of that is that the top 4 riders, the top 4 dressage riders at the festival competition will go on to represent the United States at the Pan American Games, so it is a pretty big deal for them. The interesting thing, if you talk to the dressage athletes, they will tell you that they just go out there and they do what they do. The real athlete is the horse.
Well, it's an interesting partnership between the two, of course, because you can have a rider who is at the absolute best in his field, the top of his game, but the rider is nothing without the partner, the horse, who has got to be equally talented and equally in sync. And, of course, they're very subtle signals given by the wrists and the hands, the thighs and the ankles to the horse to perform the various tricks of dressage. Any breed of horse is eligible as far as the festival and the Olympics, but for the most part, American horses, especially thoroughbreds, and European breeds have dominated in most recent years. You might recall in Houston, over 4,500 fans jammed in to watch the dressage events, and they could have sold double the seats had they been available. So at the festival here, the dressage events are underway. 4 days of competition, just horsing around.
So to speak. And we're going to continue horsing around in our Sports Center, in our Olympic Festival coverage. We're going to take a break and be back with... Well, so stay with us. We'll be back with our Olympic Festival coverage right after this.
Of inspiration, definitely. So let me experiment with sort of